our subject is still homes, so thinking about homes, I'd like to do a few things to get towards making a little house. But how about us making a little character that can go in the house first? I found a matchbox. Oh, you can get bigger matchboxes as well, which actually are quite nice. If you find things fiddly, it's better to make a bigger character to go in a box. But that could be a bed. It could actually be a house, but let's not confuse it. So I'm going to make a tiny one in a tiny matchbox because I like small things. I've got two options. One is sewing option, which we'll do in a minute, and one is just to find a stone, a little stone that fits perfectly in your matchbox. Hopefully you can find a matchbox, and then we're going to make a character on the stone. And I did try it out to see if it worked with one ear, and then so we're going to make two ears. I cut out a piece of felt. Felt's quite nice to use because it doesn't fray when you cut it. It means the edges don't go all hairy. So I've done one felt ear for our character, my character, and I'm going to stick glue the other ear on, and it's a kind of a, you could do a circle shape and then chop off the end. I'm going to just put the glue on. Oh, it's very tricky to show in the video. Just put the glue on the bottom there quite thickly so that it's got quite a nice amount of glue. Different glues would work, you know, like PVA glue, but that dries quite slowly, and glue guns are excellent for this. And then I want you to pinch it at the end, but leave enough to be able to stick the ear on. So I hope that made sense. At the back it looks like this. Squeeze it on. Squeeze it really far on, and then pinch it at the top so that it looks ear-like. And then you can add on, if you've got boogly eyes, you could add on boogly eyes. I'll glue them so you can see. Or you could draw them. So let's do a drawing version first. Got a Sharpie which should go on stone. Do little eyes. And a little nose. You could stick on a bit of felt for a nose. You could make a little animal like that. And then you could stick things on if you like, or decorate it with more Sharpies. Let's do that. Let's colour in a pair of pants. Or, well, I know, let's cover it with a bit of felt. Yellow felt. Well, you could do that. You could glue yourself on a little bit of pants for your animal. And then let's see if it does fit in the box. Yes, nicely. That's cool. Okay, that's a bed. But it doesn't look like a bed yet. Next video we'll do a bed. But if you fancy sewing, having a go at sewing, you could get some, I like felt. If you haven't got felt, use an old t-shirt, a really old, like a chucked away one, or a sock. Cut it into a little shape. Check that it fits in your box, otherwise it won't work. And then I'm going to cut a back out as well, so if you like, you can draw around it. Pencil? You can draw around your shape like that. Very tricky to draw on felt. Maybe the Sharpie would work better. And I want to make some ears in the back there. So I'm going to draw some ears. And if you can't see that, that's okay because I'll cut it. My scissors. I've got super scissors. Right, so this should be the same size as the top. The bottom top, yeah. Ears. If you're going to make the stone one, you don't even need to watch this bit of the video. You can say goodbye and just get on with it. And you can buy little matchboxes in the newsagent, usually. They've got them behind the counter. Actually, children can't buy them, but adults can. So you'd have to have an adult's help and then take all the matches out. I think I might make a little yellow face. So, or actually, professionally, if you were going to make these properly, you would do the front first, sew all the details on, and then stick it together. But I haven't got time for that in the video because long videos are boring. So I'm going to stick it on with glue afterwards. Now, if you don't know how to sew, if you don't know how to thread a needle, I have got a video in the YouTube channel which says how to sew on a button. It will show you how to thread a needle and sew basic buttons. So have a look at that first if you don't know how to sew at all. But you need to thread your needle, put a knot in the bottom, and I like to put the knot inside so you can't see it. I'm going to do overstitch, so that means you go over the fabric neatly and over. When I get to the ears, so I go back into the fabric, same side each time. And I'm glad I've used pink thread because that's the front and you can't see it, but on the back it looks quite messy. Doesn't matter though. So I'm going round and round, and it goes over the edge. That's why it's called overstitch. I'm going to go round all the way. When I get to the ears, I'm going to go running stitch. Oh, it's very annoying when it knots up. Very annoying. You have to keep going. If it knots up, you can just undo it carefully. Do each stitch. Okay, so I've got to an ear, and I don't want to go over the ear, so I'm going to go in and out. Check each side you're putting it in is right. So turn it round when you're stitching, and in and out. It's a bit flat, so I might stuff it. If you don't have proper stuffing, just use another bit of old fabric. So I've got to the other side of the ear, and then I'm going to go over stitch again. And you see that? You can see it really clearly on the other side. There you go, over. I wonder if I'll use this thread or not. Do you know, if you get to the end of your thread, don't go right to the end of here because you won't be able to knot it. I'm going to show you a knot when I get to the end. Right, first of all I'm going to stuff it. A little bit of stuffing. Tiny bit of stuffing. Put it in there. Oh, and if it doesn't fit it, if it doesn't go in properly, you have to find something to poke it up, stick it in with, like a pencil. So I'm going to poke that stuffing in, and I'm going to carry on with my sewing. In and out. Oh, I think I might come to the end of my thread before the end of the puppet, the end of the little creature. That's annoying. That's all right, I'll just thread another needle. So I don't want to get to the end of my thread and not be able to do a knot. So I'm going to do a knot now. You go in and out, and then through the loop. I'm going to do another knot just to show you, make sure you know. Go in and out. And before you get to the end of that loop, that's why you can't leave too short a thread. And that's a knot. And then you can undo it and make yourself a longer thread for the last bit. There you are. Thread. I think I've got a ready thread. That'll be easier. It's white, but I don't care. So do another knot in the bottom. And again, thread that knotted bit into the middle. There. So you can't see the knot. Tuck it in. Tuck it in, and then go your overstitch again. Oh, see the thread really badly. And then I cut out a little yellow blob when I'd finished sewing, and did Sharpie pen onto the front, just for fun, and stick it on with just Pritt stick. So that's the little animal. Could put either animal to bed. I'm going to choose this one now. They were. Night night.